In this thread, morally nasty encounters PCs may not even pick up, but leaves a sour emotional taste. Husband is beating the wife. If PCs intervene, wife screams at them and attacks them, claiming it is none of their business.
I like stuff like this.
Yeah.
I'm actually currently stuck in a predicament at the minute in my Line of the Frost main game, but I can't really talk about that because that'll spoiler because we're doing that story on the channel, so I don't really want to bring that up. But I'm always interested by these sorts of
moral dilemmas.
Yeah, moral dilemmas that really make you...
Yeah.
What do you do in that situation?
Yeah.
Like, really, what do you do? Is there any right choice? Okay, there's definitely wrong choices, but there may not be a right choice.
Yeah.
Would that be fair to say?
Yeah.
So look, let's get into this. Thread's massive. I'm looking forward to it. Let's do this.
Party discovers a merchant dragging along his visibly abused slave on the road. Regardless of what happens, they discover that slavery is used here only for the most heinous of criminals. Party entering an area under famine sees families selling their children to monsters and receiving food in exchange. For everyone he enters the island city's inner walls, one of the residents there must die. The party's goal is located in the inner walls. People are signing away their firstborn to the local fae for gold. They don't have any kids yet. The people are executing their ineffectual but good leader for an effective but pure evil one. The forest is sentient and peaceful, but the colonists will die unless they chop it down for housing.
All very good. So let's try and approach these. What can you do?
Well,
so,
for the slave one,
honestly,
these criminals, I don't care.
If he did the crime, it's a law of the land. Do you want to get involved with Google politics?
Exactly.
I think I would just avoid that one. However, if you're a bunch of murder hobos, you know,
but
a merchant by the side of the road seems like easy pickings.
Yeah.
And, you know, of course, the slave...
Murder hobos don't have morality.
Yeah, exactly. So they wouldn't...
Matter. They wouldn't look twice at a slave being dragged on the road.
Yeah, they don't really care, I suppose. They'd be more in kind of, oh, sweet, that's my slave now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Party encounters family under famine. Now, the problem is, this has happened throughout most of human history.
Yeah,
people
selling their children for food or farming goods or stuff like that.
People don't like to talk about it, but it's happened... look, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
It still happens to this day. Let's not rank it ourselves because we live in the West. We like to imagine that doesn't exist.
Do for much of that.
I have no idea either.
Unless you just go to where the people who took the children are and see what they do with the children, and then take it from there because you can't really do much with the parents.
Well, are you gonna feed the village? Maybe I suppose that would be a good quest. Okay, you know what? We're going to try and help these people out. You know, we're going to try and help the refugees. We're going to try and sort out why is there famine. That we could do something with that. The inner city walls.
The party's goal is located in the walls.
Well, why do you not go in undetected?
That's what I'm saying. If they sneak in, because it's not saying that there's like anything magical to do with it. If it would be different, magical, if it would be magical. If someone enters, someone must die. That's different. If like someone just drops dead.
Yeah.
But it's not saying that. So my guess is just sneak in.
Yeah, I would just sneak in to avoid all that. That sounds like an awful lot of bother.
Mm-hmm. Or send a letter in to a family and get them to climb out of the walls while you climb in. Yeah,
like we'll pay someone. Like tell you what, here's some money. Get yourself an inn. You just get yourself 100 gold for a 2-week holiday. We get in. Sweet ass job done.
And then you can go back.
Yeah, that's a good workaround. Yeah. Okay, selling your unborn child to the local fae. That's pretty fucking evil, man. I'm not gonna lie.
James, you would sell our unborn son for fucking chain link.
No, I would not. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, that's pretty evil. But the problem is
the fae.
It's a fae, but also the child doesn't exist yet, so really it's... Oh, I don't know. How would you guys... I want you guys to actually tell us as well how you would handle these.
The people are executing their ineffectual but good leader for an effective but pure evil.
Well, an ineffective leader is still evil.
Because they're not leading. They're not doing anything.
No, it's like, what's worse? Did they mean it, or was it just straight up incompetence? Both are shit options.
But it looks like it's just going to be shit options.
It's just shit after shit. It's like, okay, you can take... Do you want this shit or this shit?
Yeah.
Both are bad options.
And is the evil one is he effective to, like, the town or whoever he's leading over, but evil to others?
Well, that would arguably be a good leader, because look at
they look after their own.
Almost any good, has there ever been a leader, bar modern world, where okay, you only need to care about the people that vote for you or the people that you are responsible for. Yeah. Anyone else, they're statistics. Let's be serious.
Yeah. And the forest is sentient and peaceful, but the colonists will die unless they chop it down for icing. You know what happened in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I don't want this to happen again.
Avatar happened, but that was a bit different. Like, all I'm saying is...
leave the ants alone.
Leave them alone, but at the same time, well, why are they colonising? Where are they moving to?
Go somewhere else.
It sounds like the land has already been claimed, and the problem is, when it comes to, like, colonialism and stuff like that, you really have to argue, what is light? Is it might makes light? Are you strong enough to take this land from these other people? Is that light? I don't know. Maybe not from our modern day sensibilities, but maybe once upon a time it was.
Maybe. What do you guys think about these?
I love this type of shit. Let's keep going.
Bandits or other human opponents have a squire, apprentice, child, etc. with them, who tries to fight the PCs.
I mean, look, there's plenty of ways to incapacitate children.
There's plenty of ways to incapacitate someone that you don't want to kill or you don't want to meme.
There's always an option. There's a lot of magic options.
And I'm going to guess they're not that strong. And more than likely you've got a strong build in your game.
I mean, like a grapple them
and tie them up in a rope and set them to the side and tell them to calm down.
Yeah.
You know,
like you're going
there is other ways around it.
Yeah. This is bedtime, right? Bucko.
And then once you kill the bandits, make him your squire or apprentice.
There you go. If you want. I'll tell you actually what we did with this exact thing. I'll tell you at the end. We've got a similar story.
Big bad evil guy is camped out with his men in a town the PCs like, hometown, former base, etc. Sends the PCs a letter saying he's going to kill one person each day unless a specific PC comes alone to duel him, and he backs up the threat. If the PCs all charge in as a group, they find ash and corpses.
Espionage is always an option, guys.
Yeah.
There's no other way around that.
Yeah.
Why not give it a go?
Yeah. PCs find an orc den, but the meals are all out raiding somewhere. So it's woman and whelps.
I mean, orc women are just as deadly as orc men. A lot of the time. I don't...
And so are the children.
I'm going to imagine a 10-year-old orc would batter any human man, if I be honest with you.
100%.
Oh, that's just the way I view orcs in my mind. I imagine orcs as just pure, lean muscle.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that, like, he was like a 12-year-old Russian gymnastic?
I don't know.
Have you never seen him?
No.
He's like 12 and he's like, built like a brick shithouse.
Yeah.
And his arms are like bigger than my fucking thighs.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine orc children to be.
Pretty much. But like this, the way I view it, I don't consider orc women and children to be less than or
more than male orcs.
Well, male orcs, or to me, I would definitely say they are definitely a lot stronger, but they're still something to be lacking. Yeah, there's still a threat. There's still something to be lacking with, most definitely.
A town is sacrificing someone when the PC shows up. It turns out to be an important ritual to keep the local dragon, undead, fae, whatever at bay.
I actually currently suffer from this. That's up to them. Like, that's local politics. If you're not in the lottery system,
sacrificing the one to save the many. That's my opinion.
What else can you do? You know, or the only other way around that is to, all right, okay, tell you what, we're going to help this town. We're going to go defeat the dragon, the undead, the fae, the whatever it be. You know, that's the only other way around that. That's a good plot hook, actually.
Killing a certain monster disrupts the local ecology. The orcs never went through a certain mountain pass because of the red dragon the PCs killed, and half the province is orced the next month.
I feel like this comes back around to Light of the Stronger. Just because you're strong enough to take that.
Should you?
Yeah. And if you're too weak to defend your own lands, are they your lands?
Yeah.
Do they belong to you? Yeah. You know, they're questions that we don't really have. We don't ask ourselves these anymore.
At the end of the day, we don't know the full story, as in
the history of the land
and the history of the dragon. Like, as in, does the dragon disrupt many villages?
Yeah.
Then that's why they had to go and kill it.
I mean, you know what?
Or did they just kill it because they were told there's a dragon in the mountains?
You know what it kind of sounds like to me? It sounds like she's the devil. You know, that's what it reminds me of.
Or do your research and find out that the orcs don't pass through there because of the dragon.
And now, the models of our website, brought to you by neckbeardia.co.uk. Get y'all some of these titties.
Dwarf titties, orc titties, cat titties, fat titties, the gases and wastes a bit. Vampires and goblins and all the buff champions and even hentai, yeah that too. Dragons, manticores, ogres and gnomes and bugbearers and even more to go still. Undead and demons and then our friend Pally and definitely not 40k. Wood elves, dark elves and lizards and Megan the Slither and James to look cool as he stands. Beholders and kobolds and tyrants and only in a donkey with a frying pan. If you don't want no models, then no need to bother. We now have subclasses and teas. Also, Guardbros book, go have a look. Check out the link to Ko-fi. Thank you for watching our videos and giving our channel a hand. But this is the end, our viewers and friends, so let's get back to the video, man. I fucking hate myself. Purchase a halfling girl at the slave market.
Like, that's paedophilia with extra steps right there.
I know.
It's like, right, okay, it's illegal though, guys, trust me, trust me.
And the fact that it says she's pretty hot, seems smart, kind of fun. Not even out of the market and already wants to protect that smile. Buy her a smock, cloak and some shoes. Take her travelling with the PCs to get to know her. Turns out she's funny, smart, ambitious and flirty. What age is this girl? Chaotic evil. Seriously, the girl has no moral limits. Would steal a newborn from the crib for a couple of coins. Was sentenced to slavery after her lying, conniving ways got half a village fighting over her and 2 young men dead in a duel. Zero remorse over the suffering she has caused. Genuinely tries to please her new owner, including offering her body in hopes of earning her freedom. As PCs hinted, that was an option soon after purchasing her. Slave purchased was intended to be rescued. Slave girl's moral alignment, character traits, and elements of her backstory were rolled up randomly the next day. Would you set free a pretty slave girl, knowing that her motto in life is to sow discord and strife and exploit the resulting misery to her advantage?
I mean, to me, the problem is, it's so the slavery was supposed to be a punishment, but by her very nature, slavery is not fitting
for her.
Does that make sense? Also, she sounds like a creature of her environment to me. Like, you know, okay, let's take...
But she does sound incredibly dangerous.
Oh, incredibly dangerous.
To the point where, yes, the party might find her fine, and the party might get on with her really well and all that, but if you go into your next village and she does something...
Oh, she'll shaft you over.
She will shaft you up and run away.
Yeah, she will. She sounds dangerous in all the wrong ways.
Yeah.
Very interesting character, though. I do like this one. I would like to hear more about something like this.
Your opinion on it, what you would do.
I feel like she is a product of her environment and not something that really can't be helped.
Yeah.
However, at the same time, I feel like
too ingrained into her to come out.
Yeah, and I feel like slavery wasn't really the right option. But if you go back to medieval times, you don't really have an option for jail.
Anything else?
Jail doesn't work. You don't. Why would you waste resources? Keeping other people
and food and
just
else.
To keep people sitting there. You can't do that back then. Interesting question, but let's move on. Let us know what you think down below.
The party raids the tower of the court archwizard, the authority from the king. The archwizard is suspected of mind-controlling nobles. After several magical traps and hound guardians, you come across the following: bound and naked children, castrated, mind-controlled elves, fuck the elves, decapitated women, some are pregnant and some high breathing, female animals and monsters, and finally, a lobotomized arch-cleric who disappeared.
I mean, it sounds like this wizard's pretty
Sounds
fucking
like
evil.
You gotta kill him.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any morally grey area here. In my opinion, I think...
Apart from the castrated mind-controlled elves, like, actually gives a fuck.
Yeah, nothing of any value is lost there. However, I do feel like mind control is one of the more evil forms. It's up there with necromancy in my mind. Yeah. Bending people to your will is never a...
Good thing.
It
can never be a good thing.
Yeah, I feel like mind control is just one of those ones.
I don't think there is any grey area. If you mind control someone, it's taking over their whole will.
Yeah, and I think...
I don't get it.
Yeah.
No, but everything else is fucking atrocious.
Yeah, everything else...
Wizard.
Everything else, yeah, I'm sorry to say. I think you would be doing the clerk a great favour by killing him. Honestly, lobotomization
and the nobles, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, I think anyone that's been touched by this sounds like chaos heresy right there. It must all be purified with holy fire. Only way to solve this issue. I actually have no idea what else to talk about that, guys.
Yeah.
That's just pretty evil. There's
Fuck
no
the
moral, there's no grey area in this,
Yeah.
it's just fucking evil.
The king's heir is evil, but the king has gone senile, and as such, his citizens have suffered from his mania and mismanagement. Even worse, the neighbouring kingdoms are looking to take advantage, stealing territory. To engineer a succession war will leave the kingdom even more vulnerable to attack by foreign powers, and there are no good claims to the throne besides.
You know what this reminds me of? 1066.
Oh, yeah.
This is exactly what it is in my mind.
Yeah.
Okay, the king has gone senile, I'm sorry to say, but an ineffectual king is not far off from evil. What's the difference between stupidity or malice? You know, it doesn't really matter the intent. What matters is the effect, and that's what I would argue for. There's really not much else can be done about this. If you try and create a coup, you're going to get civil war.
Yeah.
If you depose the heir, civil war.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's the king's fault for letting it decline. That's the problem of
it's really the king's
own doing, not from his
the king's company letting him still run
and letting it fall to such
where like his right hand or whoever should have took over until
been
they
like,
found
right,
something because he's obviously senile.
Well, the thing is, if the king's heir is evil, how did he become evil? You know, obviously, like the king, okay, he wasn't always senile, but he mustn't have been that great to begin with. Let's be serious.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, if your heir to the throne
is evil,
you're gonna
something
you're gonna be groomed for the position your entire life.
Yeah.
That's what your entire life is based upon, the point of you becoming king. You know,
reminds me, you hate to bring it up, kind of reminds me of the Mad King from Game of Thrones.
I know, I still hate Game of Thrones, so I try not to think about it.
In that sense, of the word.
Same problem. But for me, I would think much more like Edward the Confessor.
Yeah, no, I get
it. It's his problem. He doomed his people to his fate from his own ineffectualness, you know?
A local pickpocket group leader abuses the kids for failing to bring in enough to make him rich, starving them, beating them, and only offering praise that he understands their suffering and he hurts them to make them better thieves. The kids' alternatives are be embraced with hatred or thrown into an orphanage for even worse abuse and threats of being released and sold to hobgoblins. Most, if not all, have fled the orphanage, so the kids choose the lesser of two evils and defend the handler with their lives. Okay, Fagin.
Over twist right here.
It is over twist.
I mean, like, yeah, okay, like, the problem is, the suffering of children is something that has happened throughout all of human history up until extremely recently.
Children were always seen as, like, expendable.
Yeah, okay, so put it like this. Whenever you're watching like a documentary about like a serial killer or something like that, and it comes up, oh yeah, they were abused as a child, you know, all this stuff was happening to them, and then they always go on, well, of course that they were going to come out like that because that was the environment that they were born into.
They were brought up in like violence and just mistreating.
And so what type of abuse creates the adult?
Yeah.
You know, one of the more interesting ones I love about history is think of what that does on a societal level. You know, what does that do? Why were people so brutal in the past? Is it that we didn't know any better? Is it just we lived in a more violent world? I think the treatment of children, it definitely plays a key role, which is something that is not spoken about or recorded.
Yeah. Children aren't recorded down in history because why would they?
Children aren't really people, you know. But yeah, Lesser of Two Evils, I'm sorry to say, they're a poor child. They don't have any other options.
They'd probably be better with the...
It's a short life, you know what I mean? But that's all you got.
Yeah. Local guards are grabbing homeless people and late night stragglers off the streets and disappearing them. What a way to fucking put it.
Well, like, I prefer the way the Russians do it, just black bag you, you know?
The party witnesses one such attempt. The homeless are being sent to a necromancer to research the plague they have been infected with that slowly turns them into ghouls. Necromancer forces the party to determine which is the evil they permit. Let the inflicted turn or cure the disease. at the expense of the already infected lives.
Yes, that's just Burke and Hare.
Yeah.
In my mind, if you guys don't know who Burke and Hare is, what they were two guys that lived in Edinburgh in like the mid to late 1800s.
Something like that.
I can't remember. It was in the 1800s
and
anyway.
They used to dig up graves and steal the bodies.
And they would sell them to the University of Edinburgh. But, the thing is, a lot of human scientific biological advancement came from
them
this.
too. So.
The problem is...
Yes, it was wrong, and yes, it was very, very bad, but we wouldn't have had a lot of medical advances because of them.
That is one of the big issues. Now, originally they did start off with... they were just selling... they were digging up bodies, but eventually it got to the point where they were making the bodies too, so... I think like this is one of the problems with modern science, and imagine what we could do if there was no moral judgment on the practices. Like, there's some really horrible things that we got from World War II, for instance, that we can't really talk about. Yeah. But you cannot deny that we still enjoy that.
Our advancements bettered.
So does that mean, because that information was brought about in a horrible way, does that mean that we destroy that data?
Yeah.
Can we destroy that data? It's a tough question. I know, and
as far as
look, I'm not a scientist, so I don't know. So
for all the horrible things they done, the Nazi doctors did do a lot for medical science.
We still use that data today, whether we like it or not.
Horrible to think about, and the way they went about it was
pretty bad, and there was a lot of stuff. The Japanese were just as bad in China, by the way. There was a lot of really brutal stuff going on. Yeah, but there is no right or wrong to this one. It's a price you pay for data.
Exactly. A local farmer is beating his horse used to pull his goods cart to town and back to his farm on the side of the road. The party might stop him and discover the horse is poisoned and has a lamb leg and barely trudging along. And the severe beatings are the only thing that will get the farmer home to his wife and daughter with medicine. The party offers to help by carrying the medicine, healing the wife and the daughter. By the time they return to the farmer, the donkey is dead. I thought it was a horse. Yeah. The donkey is dead and he had his throat slit by bandits. If they do nothing, the donkey lives longer than the human family, and upon death becomes infested with the spirit of the abyss and emerges as a nightmare with a mane of solid ice and terrorizes the region until the party confronts it. Until it's revealed that the only people it had killed were the people that put the family.
That's good. I really like that plot hook. I don't really see much grey area here. I don't really know where they're going, if I'd be honest, but I like that. I think that's a great local fairy tale or local mythology that could be wound into almost anything. Yeah. I like that. I think it's cool.
See, me being me.
Yeah.
I would be at the farmer and save the donkey.
Yeah, that's
me being me.
That is, but look, I suffer from that quite a bit. I do feel more pity for animals than I do humans. My reason
only because I know humans can be shit.
Well, the problem I've got is that with humans, for the most part, generally speaking, have a choice in their surroundings. Mm-hmm. Animals have no say in what happens to them, and that's the same thing with children. Children have no say in their surroundings, and animals have no say in their surroundings. When you're an adult, or if you're a bit more compos mentis, if you're over the age of 16, 17, 18, you're kind of a bit more responsible.
You know the right from wrongs.
Yeah, you know
what you should and shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, that's the way I view it anyway.
Well, I don't know.
Look, guys, this has been a bit of an unusual one.
Yeah, we ramble quite a lot, but it's not so much rambling; it's just talking about
what do you do?
The questions that are asked.
Why though? What's going on? What's
let
the
us know
situation?
What you think to some of these questions.
How long are we? That's what I want to know. It's like, no, James, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. You but then again, this is a moral question, so my moral compass is obviously going to be very different from anyone that's watching. Yeah. So there's no right and wrong.
A DM watching, write down some moral
plot hooks that you have put in.
You put in games yourself.
Yeah, I would like to hear that type of shit.
People, if you see it, reply to it and tell them what you would do.
Yeah.
To it.
How would you go about this?
Yeah.
What is the...
Yeah. But while you're down there, check out the links to the website for the models, the t-shirts, subclasses, all that good shit. Hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we post. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye!